So that's the intro to Hear About It Later. The meat of the sound is a vintage Stratocaster that Eddie used on the recording. It's using the middle position between the middle pickup and the bass pickup for the Mark Knopfler out-of-phase type sound. Eddie uses that a lot. The meat of the sound is a pretty heavily compressed signal. It was probably recorded direct, very clean. I'm using a clean 65 super reverb, and you're using a dotted eighth note delay set for 126 beats per minute. The coolest effect on this is the MXR flanger, the vintage MXR flanger, which is going to have the classic Van Halen setting of 1130 on the first three knobs, and the final knob, the regen knob, is set to max out all the way. That's the setting that he used on every song except for the intro to Out of Love Again, which is slightly different. Here's some tips to play the intro. The first two notes, and I'll include a tab in this so you can refer to the exact fingerings, but here's some tips that will help you. The first two notes on the A and D string at the very beginning of the lick, or the intro rather, is palm muted fairly lightly, but it definitely is palm muted, and you're going to kind of accent the notes on the G string a little bit, so you're going. And then you're going to move up to. So those are left to ring open. And for that chord, I like to use my index finger on the D string and my middle finger on the fourth fret of the D string and my middle finger on the fifth fret of the A string, and then the open G is ringing open. So that when you move from there, you can move down to the third position, which is going to be your middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger to fret the third fret notes. So your middle finger is going to be on the third fret of the sixth string, ring finger's on the third fret of the A string, and your pinky is on the third fret of the D string. And then the rest of the strings are going to be open. That way you can use your index finger to go behind these other fingers and catch the notes at the second fret of the D string and the A string as it goes in sequence. So you'll be going. So that part is then going to the second fret. You're holding those notes. You're going to the second fret of the D string for. So you're going from your index finger to your pinky on the D string. Index finger on the second fret of the D string, and then to the pinky on the third fret of the D string. Then you're going to move that down to the A string. Same kind of concept. Index finger is going to be fretting the second fret of the A string, and then your middle finger is going to fret the third fret of the A string. Then you're going to move down to the chord at the first fret. So you're going to bar the first three, the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings with your index finger. And then you're going to use your middle finger for the second fret of the G string and your pinky for the third fret of the G string. And then your index finger, which is barring the first fret of the D string, and then you'll reach up to the third fret of the D string with your ring finger. You're going to go, you'll see the fingering, so you know what I'm talking about, but you're then going to play at the end of that little sequence. You're going to go, so that's just a backwards rake on the power chord at the first fret, and then the little walk up is going to be going from the first to the third and to the fifth. So I use one thing that helps me a lot is using my index finger for the first fret note on the low E string, which is now tuned down to D. So you're going to walk up with your index finger from the first fret to the third fret, and then you're going to go to the note on the fifth fret of the low E string and use your middle finger, and then you're going to come behind and use your ring finger on the fifth fret of the A string and your pinky on the fifth fret of the D string, and you're going to reach around. This is the toughest chord in the sequence, and you're going to fret the second fret of the G string with your index finger. And then you're going to leave the B and E strings open, and all of these notes need to ring open as clearly as possible. So you're essentially going to have to hook your thumb all the way on the back of the fretboard in order to be able to reach this chord grip. This is one of the hardest chords to play in the whole Van Halen catalog. And when you see the Live from Oakland '81, hear about it later, you can see Eddie playing this and really reaching hard for this chord. It's not easy. You get used to it, but it's you know, it's still pretty tough. So the walk up is, and then you're going to shift down to the 3rd fret for the last chord of the song, the last chord sequence of the song, which is the you're back to that same position where you're using your middle ring and pinky to cover the 3rd fret notes of the 6th, 5th, and 4th string. And that's the open G. And then you're going to reach, again, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to reach behind with your index finger and hit the 2nd fret of the D string and bounce between that with your pinky on the 3rd fret of the D string, and then your index finger again. No, sorry, that last sequence is not on the D string, it's on the A string. So, and then the 2nd fret of the A string, and then you pick the 3rd fret of the D string. So it's, then the electric guitars come in for the rest of the song. Hopefully that helps out. If you've got any questions, you know, send some comments and I'll be happy to answer them. But just look for the link to my handwritten tab in the description of this video, and hopefully you'll be able to follow along and play along. It's a cool intro. Good luck with it.